Hello out there. Guess what? We're on the air. Happy hump day, everybody. Good to see you. I see there's a couple people on YouTube, but there's a lot of people on the Rumble today. So as like every episode today, whether you're watching this live or otherwise, if you want to be part of the conversation, if you want to be in the mix, you're going to have to be on Rumble. Sorry about that. It's just the way it is. Wow. We got 30 people on Rumble today. 10 likes right off the hop. Love to see that. Good morning, Rumble. I already said good morning, Rumble over there, but I'll say it again. Good morning, Rumbles. All right. So with that, right off the hop, we might as well do it, right? I'll probably mention this a couple times throughout the show today. But if you're watching on YouTube, there's a couple people over on the YouTube. Head there. Again, if you want to be part of the conversation, if you got any questions, comments, anything you want thrown up on the screen, make sure it's coming from Rumble. If not, sorry, you're going to be talking to the wind. Unless you say something really nice, then I'll acknowledge it. Oh, why aren't we on Zap Stream today? Should be. Sure, I set it up. Yeah, I did. Maybe we're out of money. Maybe we're out of credits. Anybody else? Anybody else not seeing us on Noster today? What did I do wrong? Was it me? Or was it Zapstream? Let's check Amethyst. That's usually a good. No good. No, I don't see it on there. Why? Don't know. Anyways, we'll have to make do without Zapstream today, I guess. I don't know. Maybe it'll pop up. Anyways, let's get to her. Killer, good morning. First comment of the day by 8 minutes. Good morning. I'm here. Welcome, Killer. Welcome, Paulo. Happy hump day to you, my friend. Frank, everything over 21 million. Good morning, Killer. Keep stacking sats. We are right about Bitcoin. Absolutely. Samantha Nakamoto. Hi, Jor. Hi, everyone. Good morning, Samantha. Thanks for being here today. We got Jay, who's not on Rumble, unfortunately, but is a Living in the Future member, so we will acknowledge him and Matt. Don't forget to smash the likes. I know it's a little bit hard on Rumble, a little hard to find, but it helps. And Matt's on Rumble as well. Good to see that. Laughpad, Warren Laughpad. Ballsy Golf. Let's get ready to rumble. Good morning, Bitcoiners. Good morning, Ballsy Golf. Rick Costa, one of our Bitcoin journeymen, one of our Living in the Future members, says, Happy hump day. Have you smashed a like yet? I mean, if you're watching on YouTube, that's kind of the least you could do, but I don't blame you if you don't, because, you might as well be on Rumble. Buck 52's over there. We got Duncan. Good morning, Rumble Gang. Today is going to be a good day. Absolutely. Gray Motion says, are you broadcasting on Rumble? Yes, we are. We're not on Zapstream, though. I don't think I ran out of credits. I'm pretty sure I just topped that one up. Oh, Gray answered his own question. There you go. Morning, Jor. Todd, Jake, 88 sats. Terry. Terry's also one of our Living in the Future members. We love the Living in the Future members. We love the Living in the Future members. And starting to love the Maple Bitcoin community too. I don't know if you're not in there yet, you're kind of, I wouldn't say you're missing out, but you kind of are. A lot of good stuff happening over there. Monique, sorry, missed you there. Crazed Cat, good morning. Another frog. Is it Woofer Wednesday again? Yes, it is. Although I don't know if we want to keep doing it or not. It was kind of a flop last week. I think we got one zap from the Bitcoin nurse for 69 sats, if I'm not mistaken. We'll give her another go today. If we have another flop, maybe we'll just shut her down. But anyways, the Rescue Dog Fund has a lot of sats in there. and we have our first UTXO. It is going to be a proof of reserve kind of fund. I mean, it is now, I think, although I don't know if I've actually sent it to my multi-sig yet or my cold storage, whatever I use to secure my Bitcoin. I don't think I've sent it there yet, but it is on chain. It is on chain. Rescue, we should get that loaded up just in case we see some zaps coming in here. Clutch 99. Good name. Good picture. Good number. Good morning. Lapad sent to DCA. Nice. Okay. Thank you, Lapad. We'll get to those in a little while here. Shelby Roth. Good morning. Was it Shelby Roth? I feel like I accidentally. Yeah, it was. Yeah, it was Shelby who was asking about the taxes on zaps. Oh, that's another thing too. Can't forget about that. I'm going to change this, I think. If you guys and girls are okay with it, I think I'm going to change this. It makes more sense to be Zap King. Right? Sat King doesn't really make a whole lot of sense. I like it. I like how it sounds. I like everything, but it doesn't really make that much sense in order, like the context. So we're changing it to Zap King. I think that's a play. And yesterday Ian was our very first Zap King with a total of 7,500 sats for the show, spread out 3 times in his usual 2,500 CYM zaps. So we'll see who is today. See who's going to be the Zap King today. I think I like Zap King better. Let's hear what you guys and girls think of it. But I think we're going to go with Zap King. So just as a reminder here, every show, the person who zaps the highest amount of sats is king for the day. They get crowned at the end of the show. And if you're the Zap King for the most amount of times in a month, then you get a little prize pack from the 88 Sats Radio. Get my team to send it out to you, put it together and send it out to you. My team is in me. Orville's here. Good morning, Orville. Bitcoin Nurse, it's a good day to stack more sats. Every day is, especially Mondays, though. I don't know if you guys had a chance to watch the video that I posted today. But yeah, Monday's the best day to DCA. Gray Motion says, hola. Groovy Shoe. Good morning. Okay, let's get signed into our rescue dog fund here quickly. I don't think we're on Noster. Sorry, Noster. It's not really giving me a warning, though, either, so which is weird. Okay, it says we're live. I don't know what's going on here. Josh zapped. So we must be live. Maybe it's not showing up for me. We are live. I should share, I wish Kieran was here today because he actually created a nice link that I could share on Noster. Like instead of like the long link, it was like zap.stream/Joe or something like that. I forget. Who knows? But anyways, Noster's there. Let's keep going down the list here. JCO. Is that Joe? Joe, let me know if that's you. 21 Bit Street. Good morning. Separate X, I see a couple comments there. I would love to address them, but unfortunately, we only take questions and comments from Rumble these days. And if you're not on Rumble yet, there you go. Get yourself an account. I have a referral link for it, but I don't think it's even worth sharing. So just get yourself an account. Head over to Rumble. That's where you're going to be able to watch the show every day. And if you want to be part of the live chat, the interaction here, make sure you're posting from Rumble. Monique says, today when the YouTube notification appeared, I skipped YouTube and went straight to Rumble. There you go. That's a good use case for YouTube, just to let you know that we're live. Just now I clicked the notification bell in Rumble. Oh, there you go. You know what? I've actually heard that in the last couple of days. People said that they weren't getting notified. So I guess you can do that in Rumble. And I'm sure it would help the channel just as much as a like and a comment on there and a subscribe. So if you haven't yet, make sure you go click the bell, I guess, in Rumble, the notification bell. Thanks for sharing that, Monique. BCK2, good morning. Joshua says, morning, eh? I'm on Amethyst because it works, but Rumble support. Comment. Thank you. Love that. Love Josh. Josh so far is the Zap King. Josh wasn't here yesterday. Usually he zaps, I shouldn't say usually, but a lot of times he does. He zaps a legendary zap, which would have been good enough to win yesterday, but you missed it. You missed the first ever Zap King. Actually, yesterday was called Sat King. We've already changed. We've already updated. Okay, we're going to skip that. Screw it. Got too much to do here. Too much going on. I'll have that ready for tomorrow. Duncan says Zap King sounds better. I think so too. I think we're going to go Zap King. It actually does sound better too, which is the reason I like Sat King. But Zap King sounds better. Thank you, Duncan. Thank you, Samantha. Thank you, Ian. Look at that. Ian's over on Rumble. I think this is the first time I've seen Ian on Rumble. Timber Crashers on both. Why not, eh? Good morning, Timber Crasher. One of our Bitcoin journeymen and also on Rumble. Love that. Okay, so I just have to sign into the rescue thing here, and then we can see. Need my password, though, you know? Okay, well, let's start with the Mempool. See what's going on over there. See what the network's doing today. And then we'll go from there. This show today's title, What is the Point of Holding Bitcoin? So I got some, we're going to do a little bit of a, what would you call it? Rehearsal almost. So I've been doing a lot of shows lately. I've been doing a lot of clips and stuff for like the Maple Bitcoin School community. I've been redoing some of my 21-day Bitcoin journey course. I've been doing 365 days of Bitcoin for 195 days so far this year. 195 episodes. There's a lot in there. If you want to be a Bitcoiner, and shout out to Jordy, I think. Jordy's one of them, and Ginger. Both those guys are right up to speed. 195 days. Crazy. So shout out to those guys. That's awesome. I'm gonna have more info coming out about that. We're making a couple more changes because why not? But anyways, what was I saying there? I don't know. Mempool. 905. Oh, what we're doing today. Yeah. Okay. So I'm just going to do like kind of a test run because I'm going to make this content part of the 21-day Bitcoin journey course. So I want to just do a little bit of a run through first and see if there's anything we need, if there's anything we're missing, get some feedback from the audience here. And yeah, I think it's going to be some good info. But we are at block height 905830 today. Lucky Pool in the last block. Love to see that. Nice to see it wasn't Antpool or Foundry for once. So Lucky Pool. Maybe that's Lucky the cat. I feel kind of bad for Lucky. Such a good cat too, but he's a scrapper. But he doesn't come in the house. He doesn't really get any sort of accolades from the channel. It's always Arnie. And he doesn't have a fund. Lucky doesn't have a fund, and he's pretty much cost us just as much as Arnie so far. But anyways, Lucky Pool won the last one there. Looks like we're ahead, 15 blocks ahead, which is a good sign. We had an upwards adjustment last time of 7.96%, which is very high, very high. And currently we're at 2.5% upwards adjustment, which means that there's a lot of people mining Bitcoin right now. The higher that number goes, the faster the blocks are coming in, the more people are mining. Not much to report. Still pretty bare. Although it looks like there's a lot of transactions, just not a lot of people want to pay a bunch for it. Okay, so yes, I want to fix an error from yesterday by the looks of it here. So I'm looking at the mempool or the mempool. So just keep in mind here, whenever you send a Bitcoin transaction on layer 1, this is where it goes. It goes on the left side of this little dotted line here, which is called the mempool. It's pretty much like no man's land. Because when you send a Bitcoin transaction, it goes into the mempool. So it's left your wallet if you're the sender. Let's say I'm sending it to no, sorry, that's a YouTube comment. Hey, Jerry. Jerry Loves Freedom's over on the Rumble. Let's say that I'm sending some Bitcoin to Jerry. Morning, Jerry. Jerry must be up early there. 6:54. But let's say I'm sending some Bitcoin to Jerry. So I send it. It leaves my wallet. It goes into the mempool here, where it will stay until a miner picks up my transaction and puts it into a block. So in that time, it's not in my wallet. It's not in Jerry's. It's unspendable by Jerry because it's still in the mempool. So it's kind of like no man's land over there. But yesterday I said I didn't think you could set a fee lower than 1, but apparently I was wrong because I see there's a 0.26 of a sat per VByte, 0.35 sats of a VByte. That's the lowest I've ever seen in my life. So I don't know what's going on there. They might sit there for a while though. I don't know if you can even set that. Can you? I'm going to take a quick look here. I'm going to take a real quick look in. We're going to do a little digging here because whenever I learn something, I think it's you should explore it a little bit. But anyways, Jerry says, can we send sats on Rumble yet? No, not yet, but it's coming. It's coming. There's going to be a Rumble wallet with Bitcoin and USDT Tether in it. Okay, so let's go to Sparrow. Let's go to send a fee. I'm not going to bring this up on the screen here. I'm just going to talk you through what I'm doing. Copy address, send. Why can't I do max? 50? No, you can't. Well, Sparrow won't let you go lower than 1 sat per VByte. So that's the first test here. But let's go to Perplexity here. Is it possible to send a Bitcoin transaction under 1 sat per VByte? And if yes, which wallets allow you to do this? So you have to think though in the future, like at some point, nobody's going to be paying like 1 sat per VByte. Like this is a ways down the road, right? Like decades, maybe not, but like nobody's going to want to pay 1 sat per VByte just to send Bitcoin. It's going to be like a microsat, so like 2 microsats per VByte, something like that. Okay, so it says it is now possible, obviously, because we saw it on the mempool there. It is possible now to send a Bitcoin transaction with a fee below 1 sat per VByte. For example, at rates like this would be 10 microsats per VByte as of July 2025. Okay, so this is new. No, maybe not. Several pools and nodes have started accepting and relaying transactions at this lower fee rate, reflecting a recent shift in the network's minimum fee standards. The previous convention of 1 sat per VByte has effectively been replaced by 0.1 sat. Wow. Okay. So maybe I just don't have the latest Sparrow update. That's probably what it is. When did this come into effect approximately? Or when? Whoa. So it says, based on the available info, there's no clear evidence in the provided sources pinpointing the exact date. Okay, well, give me approximate. I mean, I feel like it just happened because we looked at that yesterday and the minimum there was 1. I don't know. Maybe somebody in the chat knows. But kind of cool. And it makes sense, right? Because as sats grow in their value, you have to. Everything's going to come down like that. So interesting. Good start to the show. Learn something. All right, we'll take Moro here. Moro 21 says it's so easy to orange pill no coiners to get Bitcoin only, then get Web3 crypto dudes to understand Bitcoin from personal experience. Yeah. And probably part of that would be because Web3 crypto dudes have skin in the game, right? They have influence. They have, what would you call it? Bias. Because a lot of them hold their net worth in some of these coins. So it's like, why would they want to admit that Bitcoin's better when their livelihood literally depends on, hey, look at that. There's the Noster chat. All right, we're back. Sorry, everybody. I'm kind of just having a hard time keeping up here with thing, but we'll be all right. We're gonna make it. Oh God, I thought I was on the share screen there still. If you guys would have saw my password, you would have been able to hack into like 50 of my accounts. Just kidding. Just kidding, everybody. It's a joke. Okay, well, we got one. Look at that. We got our first Zap for the rescue dogs. One. And believe it or not, it was the same person. The Bitcoin nurse again, baby. Woofer Wednesday. 420 sats. So this just this quickly, here's Woofer Wednesday. We're going to start doing this going forward. I mean, we'll see how she goes. we had some shows where we had like 100,000 sats coming in for the rescue dogs, but lately it's been kind of, oh geez, we got lots going on here right now. Okay, so if you feel like sending there, you can rescue at coinos.o. You just got to type that into your Lightning wallet, and you can send some sats to the dogs. And yeah, we got to keep going here though. Keith says, "Hey Jor, hey Arnie. Finally able to join on Rumble, only on my laptop, but can't on my phone. Go figure. Huh. I don't know why that would be. Santino, good morning, my friend. Paulo says, Jor, remind me again how to sign up for Maple School. Is there a discount code for Lyft Journeyman? Yeah. I've been given, there's several people from Living in the Future who are part of the Maple Bitcoin community. Cool thing too is we do a lifetime membership, so you don't have to pay and put in your credit card info. That's why I like school. So you can get yourself a lifetime membership, which is based on like a year's worth of fees, and you can pay in sats. So Paulo, just shoot me a message in Signal, and we'll get you sorted out there. BCK2 says, not sure how to zap on the phone. Well, one way to do it is you could just click this link. It'll take you to a website. This is what I think it was, who did it? Duncan this morning or LaughPad? One of the two. But you can just send $3 worth of fiat there. Wow, look at this. This even changed. What's going on here? Did I miss like an update to the Bitcoin world or something? So this used to say support with sats, but now it says support with B20. Wow. I mean, we might be officially on a sat standard now, folks. We might be officially on a sat standard. I mean, we have been for a while here. That's why we called the show 88 sats. We knew this day was coming. But yeah, it says, I've never seen that before. Support with B2530. So this would be, yeah, wow. That's cool. Learning a lot of things today on the show. Learning a lot. Okay, so for the, that's another thing too. So you can use that. You don't need an Oster or anything. You just have to have a Lightning wallet on your phone. Did I share it in there? No, I didn't. Did I? Yeah, I did. Okay, what else we got going on here? Ian, first time in 2 comments. Whoop, whoop. Nice. Josh says, my very libtard boss was busting my balls in the heat yesterday, Jor. Why I missed her. By the way, if I'm ever Zap King or whatever and win any prize, I want it distributed to a new member. Okay, well, you can decide that when the time comes. I'm not going to say if the time comes. I'm sure you're going to win one of these months. You're probably the most consistent supporter of the show, that's for sure. And the Zap King actually rewards consistency. So it's not based on volume. It's based on amount of days that you're the Zap King. Shelby says, is there a discount code to buy the 365 days of Bitcoin with Bitcoin? Yep. Shelby, this is what I would say. Shoot me an email. I think I've been given like 3 months if you pay in Bitcoin. So it's on Patreon right now, but I'm moving it all over to school. So I'm going to be in touch with some people here coming up to make the switch over there if they want to. But yeah, if you want, I'll give you a little discount for paying in Bitcoin. Shelby, you can send a message. Just put 365 days of Bitcoin in the subject line, and can do that for you for sure. Always got to give a discount for paying in Bitcoin. Gray says, "Come on, Ocean, let's hit 2 datum blocks before the show ends." Oh, that'd be nice, hey. Jake says you can do feline. Is it feline? Feline Friday? Get that wall started. Scrappy Saturday might work, knowing Lucky likes to mix it up. Well, he's definitely a little bit better since we got him fixed. I don't love doing that to animals, but it helps a lot. Like, it helps their temperament. He just sticks around the house now pretty much. He still roams, but like every second day he would come back with like cuts all over his arm. One day he came back covered in mud, which I don't know how a cat gets covered in mud. He must have been into some trouble, but he's a lot better now. His coat's a lot better. He seems a lot happier. So he's no longer going out every night and fighting. Bitcoin Nurse says, "Is that your local mempool off Start 9 or the main mempool?" That's the main mempool. Jay Pont says, "Why is it that I can watch this live on YouTube but not live on Rumble? Not sure what I'm doing wrong." I don't know either, man. You should just be able to go to this link right here. If you're watching on YouTube, you should be able to click that and watch the live show on Rumble. Gray says, "Currently my RTL only allows 1 sat or more, nothing less." Yeah, that's what mine is too. But I haven't updated my Sparrow since it was like before the mixing stuff, before they changed it. J-Dog. Morning, J-Dog. SV19. Make a QR code for Woofer and you will get more donations, I think. Okay, that's a good idea. That's a good idea, Bitcoin Nurse. I honestly thought it would be easier for people to type it in. But, I guess people are kind of lazy. I'm kind of lazy myself, so it is what it is. Duncan sent to DCA. We'll get to those right away. What else we have here? Kev says, "Lifetime membership is worth it. Highly recommend." There you go. Okay, so should get to a couple different things here as we proceed. So we got a couple DCAs that came in. What is it today? The 16th? Yeah, 16th. Okay, let's go to, let's do our DCAs right now. I did see a zap from Josh. I don't know if I addressed that yet or not, but Josh sent in 8,888 sats over on Noster. Thank you, Josh. Okay, so these DCAs. So basically, with that Zap Me a Coffee, you send $3 worth of sats, $3 fiat in sats. And so as this as the price goes up, the amount of sats that we actually receive here go down. So we had LaughPad sent in 2525. Said happy Wednesday. 2525. That's a good number. And Duncan's was 2533. We're going to keep 2525 up there. Not the all-time low, but we got LaughPad. Usual suspects there. LaughPad and Duncan. Thank you, fellas. Very much appreciate that. And so far, Joshua is the Zap King for today. So if anybody wants to take his crown, you're looking at 8,888 sats. That's the top Zap ATM at the moment. You can also send wow, we got 75 people over on Rumble. All-time 78. Rumble showing up. Oh, Rumble. I got itchy eye syndrome here. Okay, let's get to a couple different things here that I wanted to share. I'll take that off the screen. I don't know if we're going to get to the meat and potatoes of the show today or not. I have a meeting at 9:30. I just saw. Damn people getting in the way of the show here. Don't they know we're live at this time? Okay, I wanted to talk about this. I think that this is important to understand. It's from Sean Harris over on Noster. I think this is a good one. Sean Harris, everything is connected. You stacking Bitcoin has a good effect on people in the world that you don't even know. Think about that. And look at this. This is a legendary Zap 2100 sats from Gigi. I got one of those, I think, one time, and it was made my day. Gigi the man. But yeah, this post earned 2,268 sats. That's why you need to be on Nostr and sharing your thoughts and opinions. Because instead of illusionary likes, you actually get the most scarce units ever existed in human history before if you make a good post. And you don't need to hit any thresholds. You don't need X amount of followers, subscribers, hours watched, anything. There's no requirements. You make a post and people like it, they can send you sats. But yeah, think about this one. Everything is connected. You stacking Bitcoin has a good effect on people in the world that you don't even know. Why is that? Why is that? And this is a common question I get a lot is like, you know, Bitcoiners, if you own Bitcoin right now, if you're watching this in 2025, you're going to be good. You learn how to protect that Bitcoin, you secure it properly, you're going to be good. Your family's going to be good for many, 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 many years, maybe centuries to come, if you protect that Bitcoin. But it's also going to benefit the world because if you think about somebody right now who's working in Venezuela and they go to work every day and their government, obviously, most people would know this, hasn't been that great in terms of not stealing their time and energy. They've been printing a lot of money in Venezuela. There's a lot of parts of the world like this: Argentina, Venezuela, everywhere, US, even the USA, right? This has an effect on even here in the US and in Canada. So people go to work every day and they're saving, they're earning money in their currency of wherever they're from: Canadian dollars, Argentina pesos, Venezuelan francs. I don't know what they are. Venezuela vendettas. Anyways, whatever their home currency is, they get paid in that, right? And so governments, especially over the last 5-10 years and beyond that, even back to the early 2000s, they've been printing a lot of money. And every time they print money, whoever's storing their time and energy in that currency, they get poorer. Those dollars that they have saved up are worth less every single day. And the thing that's happening right now is governments are not able to stop printing money. They have debt owed to somebody out there we owe $500 trillion to. I don't know who. But anyways, every time they print new dollars or create new money, the dollars that you're storing there are worth less. So because of Bitcoin now, you have the ability to take your home currency, stop being stolen from by your government, stealing your time and energy, and you can store that in Bitcoin. And every person who joins the Bitcoin network, everybody who starts storing their time and energy in Bitcoin, it makes the network stronger. It makes those sats more valuable. And so that's what Bitcoin does. Even if, again, it allows people to opt out of their currency debasement in their home country all around the world. It's a global currency that anybody can store their time and energy in and not have to worry about being devalued by their government. That's like here in Canada, for me, like our government's gone batshit crazy ever since Trudeau took office in whatever year it was, 2015. King Trudeau or Queen Trudeau, whatever you want to call him, Queen Castro. Ever since he took office, everything has got so incredibly expensive here in Canada. And so people go to work every day and they save their dollars, their Canadian dollars, but they get worth less and less every single day. And so if you have something like Bitcoin, which every person joining makes that network stronger, you can now opt out of that. And so while I see all my friends and families, their lives are getting harder and harder and things are getting more expensive for them, my life's got significantly cheaper in the last couple of years, significantly cheaper just by holding Bitcoin. So this isn't just Bitcoiners who are going to be like rich and powerful. Every single person in every country around the world benefits from Bitcoin. You just have to join. That's it. You just have to join the network. You got to play, get on the team. Okay, what do we got here? Dinkles. We'll make an exception here on YouTube, but it says you guys should start a channel that only talks about your fat zaps and DCA payments. Then another channel that only talks about Bitcoin. Okay. Hey, Dinkles, there's a lot of channels out there. If you don't want to be watching this, then don't fucking be watching this. Like it's not complicated, right? No one's forcing you to be here. That's the cool thing about Bitcoin is it's all voluntary, right? You're not being paid to be here. You don't have to be here. If you don't want to be here, then hit the fucking road. Buck52 says, did you get my email with the address? Yes, we did. I'll get back to you soon on that one. Jay Ponce says, thank you, George, sending some sats, 5K. Nice. Thank you, Jay Ponce. Let's see, did she show up? Where'd they go? Okay, Boulevard. Not the Vendetta. Tommy D, good morning. We're winning and we're not going to stop. That's right. Wow. Like, what are you doing? You're literally watching a show and you're complaining about it. If you don't like it, just get out of here. Like, it's not that complicated. Not that complicated. And I'm not a politician, so I don't need to kiss everybody's ass. Okay, so the next thing I wanted to bring up here was, what do we got here? Okay, we got time. That's the wrong spreadsheet. Where did I put that one? Untitled. There it is. Okay, so this is what we're going to get into today. This is who needs Bitcoin? What's the point of holding Bitcoin? Why would anybody want to hold Bitcoin? This is kind of a common question. I mean, everybody asks a lot is like, how do I get my friends and family interested in Bitcoin? And it's tough. It's like one of the toughest things I think that you can do. You could probably convince your friends to, okay, we got 5,000 sats there from Jay Ponce. Thank you, Joe. Received. But it's like, I don't know. You could probably convince your friends to invest in a gold mine in Sahara, Africa, that's run by chimpanzees and AI instead of Bitcoin, which is crazy, but it's true. And I think that the reason for that is because we've just had so much negative press, negative marketing. It's almost like an attack for the last 16 years. It's almost like the centralized parties don't like Bitcoin. I wonder why. But anyways, most people have a very negative perception around Bitcoin. And I really feel like if people looked at a piece of paper and they said, okay, here's the characteristics of this currency, and here's the characteristics of this currency, and you didn't put Bitcoin, you didn't put dollars on there, you just showed people, I would say that like 99% of people would actually say, okay, I want that one. Maybe 99.9% of people would say that one. But again, because they've been brainwashed into thinking that this is like a really bad thing in one way or another, they just ignore it. They don't make any sort of time for it. So this is a little spreadsheet I put together here. Where is it? Entire screen. We'll do that. And I'm kind of looking for some help with this. I put this together yesterday in terms of like who needs Bitcoin, why they need it. And then when you have something like this, you can actually tailor your conversations based on who you're talking to, right? If you're talking to your friend, some of this stuff might make sense. If you're talking to a business, some of this stuff. If you're talking to investors, if you're talking to people with real estate, you can kind of cater and tailor your conversation based on who you're talking to. So this is the first one. Why would an individual want to store their wealth in Bitcoin? Very simply, you keep what you earn. So instead of getting paid $1,000 and that $1,000 being worth $995 the next day in terms of your purchasing power, you can actually store your time and energy and effort and contribution to the world in something that's fixed. No ability to print more of it. No government can decide to print Bitcoin and devalue your Bitcoin. So to me, even if Bitcoin never went up, right? Even if the price of Bitcoin never went up, but it maintained your purchasing power for going to work and adding value to the world and contributing to society, even if it just did that and it didn't actually increase in purchasing power over time, that would be a much better currency than we have in the fiat dollar. So that's a big one. Keep what you earn, right? Life gets more expensive if you're holding in fiat, saving in fiat, and life gets way cheaper if you're saving in Bitcoin. And you can look at the objective math on this for the last 10 years. If you're holding Bitcoin instead of dollars, you can buy way more. Another one, you can send value across the globe. This whole economy here, the cyberspace economy, is unlocked. You can do work in any part of the world and you can be paid by anybody else in any part of the world, and somebody can send you value without anybody's permission, without going through the foreign exchange, without a whole bunch of people taking a cut on that, without waiting 2 months for it to finally settle. You can send value across the globe to anybody with an internet connection, and that changes the entire landscape. So much needed transparency here. So 111 years we've gone without actually knowing how many US dollars exist. Since 1913, when the Federal Reserve was created, they have never been audited. So we have these numbers that they tell us about how many dollars are in circulation, but we have no idea. They've never been audited. That'd be like me having a business and me putting out my sales for the year. And it's like $1 million this year, $20 million the next year. And then this year I hit $500 billion. And people are just like, okay, cool. George's company's growing pretty good. But nobody ever stops and says, hey, is that legitimate? Maybe we should audit that. Maybe somebody should take a look at that. A third party who's not involved with George's operation. Maybe somebody should confirm those numbers. So it adds much needed transparency. So what it's going to do is it's going to add transparency to banks, large corporations, governments, and it's going to allow individuals to interact and transact privately. So the base layer is very transparent, but for smaller amounts, transactional amounts, you can do very private transactions using Lightning Liquid eCash. So it gives transparency for the people and the entities who need it, and it gives privacy for the individuals who deserve that, as our born right to transact privately without the fucking government knowing exactly what we're doing. Much needed transparency for some and added privacy for others. Bitcoin is basically like an upgraded cash. There's a lot of people, uneducated people out there who think that like Bitcoin's going to usher us into this new, WEF controlled world because they can see everything. They just don't understand what's happening here. No bank account needed. Pretty big one. A lot of people around the world who don't have a bank account. And I think my theory on this is that the kids who are growing up today, they're never going to have a bank account, a traditional bank account. They're never going to have a traditional financial advisor. So with this, whether you're in a different part of the world or you just don't want to be involved with a bank, you now have the ability to do that without. So this is individuals, and there's probably more here that I'm missing. But if you have anything to add to this list, make sure you throw it in the comments here for individuals. Why would somebody want to hold Bitcoin? So that's kind of the four main ones. Businesses, instant settlement. So I don't know if you guys and girls are familiar with this, but if you're a business owner and somebody pays you, somebody buys a coffee from you, somebody buys a hoodie from you, they actually have to wait. Even though you tap your card on their little device and the money comes out of your bank account, it actually doesn't arrive in the business owner's account for like 2 or 3 days, maybe more. So with Bitcoin, with Lightning, somebody taps your wallet, your QR code, that's instant settlement. Pretty big deal. The next one here is lower fees. So merchant fees, they charge about 5%. Shopify, King Golf pays like 4% every time somebody buys something. We just have to pay Shopify 4%. Deal with it. Sorry. You don't like it, then leave. But now we have the ability to do that for much lower. Lightning is basically free. Pretty much. It's a couple sats. It'll keep going down. Obviously, it'll be relative. but it's pretty much free. And it's the same thing here. Businesses, this is just as big of a problem for businesses. You have some profits, you keep a reserve in the future for investments, for the slower times, you have a reserve built up. And you could either hold that in fiat dollars or you could hold that in Bitcoin. One of those is going to keep going down. That reserve is going to keep coming less and less valuable as each day goes on. Or you can store it in Bitcoin, which is going to maintain your purchasing power and probably a lot more than that. Investors, the best performing asset for the last 15 years, I think, 10 years, and it's not even close. You look at a comparison between Bitcoin, gold, S&P, bonds, everything, real estate. Bitcoin is by far the best performing asset over this last decade. And that's why financial advisors are finally talking to their clients about it. It's highly liquid too. Highly liquid, which means that if you had to sell some of your sats, you could in 5 minutes or less to anybody on the planet, global demand. Right? If you had a piece of real estate in a town and you want to get rid of that asset, let's say you want to retire, you want to cash out, you want to whatever, you have to find a buyer in that local market. You have to have your lawyers involved, the banks involved, realtors involved, the RM involved, everybody, the city. But if you got Bitcoin instead, if you're storing your value in Bitcoin, you can sell that at any moment to anybody on the planet. Highly, highly liquid. Governments. Why would governments want to hold Bitcoin? You might think, well, they want to get rich. They want to make a bunch of money on Bitcoin. No, that's not why. They want to stay relevant. A lot of governments around the world have been pretty much destroyed because of the US dollar, because of the sanctions, because of the requirements that the US government puts on these different countries around the world. So a lot of them have had no choice but to print money and take loans from the IMF, and their currencies have suffered greatly from that, which is good and bad, right? If you're sending your products out, you want a lower dollar. But at the same time, for the citizens of that country, it's just getting weaker and weaker and worth less and less and less. But they want to stay relevant. And by storing their reserves, just like a business in Bitcoin, they do. They actually have a fighting chance. There's going to be some countries like El Salvador and the Kingdom of Bhutan that are actually much more powerful than a country like Canada because they started stacking Bitcoin years ago. Global sanctions, right? We've seen this in the last couple of years with all the BS wars going on. Powerful countries have the ability to sanction other countries, and therefore they have the ability to cut them out of certain financial systems like the SWIFT system. That's what happened with the US and Russia. US decided that one day Russia is just not allowed to transact with the rest of the world. So this is like for individuals, businesses, and governments, it's the same kind of thing. If you want to be able to transact without anybody's permission, you use Bitcoin for that. And this is the biggest one, right? Because we see this technology increasing. AI is getting more and more powerful. And anything that's being communicated between countries or between important information between people within that country, it can be hacked now. And it's going to be easier and easier to hack. If that information, that data isn't encrypted using something like Bitcoin, it's going to get hacked. It's going to get hacked. So it's a national security concern because you want to be able to communicate and transfer data without having to worry about Israeli hackers intercepting that message. So Bitcoin itself uses something called SHA-256, which actually is the most powerful encryption that has ever existed. So it's more than a currency for the governments. It's a way to transfer data privately and securely without the risk of being hacked. And again, the hacks are just only starting now. It's going to get worse and worse. So that's why you'd want to hold Bitcoin. Whoa, I almost left the whole thing here. Oops. I was a little bit rushed because I got to go in 2 minutes here. But anyways, Simon says, is it super back or super pack? Super backed. 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 Super back. That's right. Johnny, good morning. Grace says, excuse, What is the LITF I see on some username tags? That is living in the future. The best community in Bitcoin. Yeah, we're gonna have more news coming out about that as well. Okay, so as we wind up the show here, we're gonna crown our Zap King. Man, that was the fastest show of all time. Where can I learn more about this? Simon, shoot me an email. I'll send you some info, or we can set up a call and we can see if it makes sense for you or not. Strike just launched virtual bank accounts with USDT. Nice. Yeah, I put a little bit of my I threw a couple bets on Jack and Paulo, if you know what I mean. So let's get to the Zap King for today, which is the Zap King is Josh Owa. Legendary Zap today, Joshua. We had Ian yesterday. We got Joshua today, and we'll see who it's going to be tomorrow. So that's what I got for you today, ladies and gents. I'm sorry it was kind of an abbreviated show here. I got a meeting right now. So thanks for stopping by today. I'm sorry it was kind of a scrambly show, but it is what it is. So thank you, Zapstream. Thank you, everybody on Nostr. We had a record amount of people over on Nostr. Don't forget to like on the way out, and very much appreciate that. Thanks for all the saps. Like that's like a maple syrup kind of thing. The sap, the zaps. So have a great day, everybody. Thanks for being here, and we'll talk to you right back here first thing tomorrow morning. Bye-bye.